Today on the spot, we get the latest coming to Xbox Live and check out an exclusive trailer for Mortal Kombat. Finally, we get double demos of Supremacy MMA and Swarm. Today on the spot.
Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Today on the Spot. It's Thursday, January 13th. I'm Sophia Tong, and I'm joined by Kevin Van Ord. Hi, Kevin.
Hey, how's it going, Sophia?
Very good. You're looking good. New clothes.
Thanks. Yeah, it's the shoes.
It's the shoes?
Shoes and glasses. It's a whole new look.
Yes, I'm so proud of you for keeping up with your little weight loss regimen and eating
so far,
right.
So good. Yeah. Hopefully I can keep it up.
Looking good.
Thanks.
So, are you busy right now? Busy review season?
It is busy. I mean, it's an interesting January. Lots of stuff going on because we've got Mass Effect 2 on the PS3 comes out this month. Dead Space 2 comes out a little bit later in the month.
Lots of great games. And there's also a THQ event that's happening this week, as well as a Nintendo event. They're going to talk about the 3DS launch next week. So we're going to see a lot of games, a lot of stuff going to hit the site. We actually have a couple of demos for you guys today, as well as a Mortal Kombat trailer. So before we get into all that, let's kick it off with the Gamespot News Desk.
Hey everybody, it's your Gamespot News Update for Thursday, January 13th. I'm Tor Thorson. Warner Bros. Interactive Entertainment and Day One Studios are certainly being skittish about the release date for Fear 3. GameSpot has confirmed with the publisher that the horror-steeped first-person shooter has been delayed for a second time, with its release date shifting from March 22nd to sometime in May. Previously, the game had been scheduled to arrive for the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and PC last fall. According to a representative, Fear 3's delay was brought about as part of Day One's effort to, quote, deliver the best possible game for our consumers, unquote. Fear 3 will be the third full-fledged installment in the first-person shooter series, which began in 2005. The forthcoming game will continue the franchise's storyline, but will add an all-new divergent co-op mode that will let players assume the role of one of two characters. This week's hot rumor, or rumors, concern the PSP 2, which still has not been officially announced by Sony. First up came two reports out of the UK which indicated that the handheld will be unveiled at a press summit on January 27th. Speaking with GameSpot, Sony officials did confirm a press event would take place in Tokyo on that date, but declined to discuss its subject. Another unconfirmed report said that Sony is promoting the PSP 2 as being as powerful as the PS3. The same report said the PSP 2 will reportedly have a brick form factor similar to the PSP 3000, not the PSP Go-like sliding chassis spotted in reportedly leaked photos of the handheld's dev kit. The PSP 2 will also have a physical media component, although it was unclear if it will be the UMD format used by current PSPs. Well, that's it, your GameSpot News Update for Thursday, January 13th. For more headlines, head on over to news.gamespot.com.
It's my favorite part of the show now, where we talk about men hugging. Actually, Sophia likes this part of the show too.
Wait, I thought it was the demo.
Oh, is it the demo?
Yes.
Well, it's a demo of men hugging.
Oh, the MMA demo.
Yeah, that's the one.
Right. Yeah, I'm not really sure how this whole men hugging thing works, but I hear Homer is actually quite the expert. Let's check in with Homer in our daily demo, Supremacy MMA.
Hey folks, Homer Ibarra here in the host chair. This time, because I'm here for an interview of Supremacy MMA with my man, Ricky Rukavina. What's up, Ricky?
Hey, how are you?
Thanks for joining us,
Yeah,
man.
thanks for having us.
And you're the creative director at where again?
Kung Fu Factory.
The creative director at Kung Fu Factory. And you guys are making a game of beating the crap out of people,
well,
right?
A little bit more than that, but you
okay.
do get to do that. Yeah,
all right.
Sure.
So talk about Supremacy MMA.
Well, being unlicensed, it allows us to be unrestricted.
Sure.
And, we're able to work the way we want to work. So, licenses sometimes aren't in the best interest of gamers and gameplay.
Sure.
So here, we're able to make decisions that are all about gameplay, all about the best gaming experience. That's, first and foremost. So we'll do things, like leg breaks and snaps, and there's violence and there's blood. We're not going for a teen rating.
No.
So we're able to do some of the things that typically games don't do, whether it's a boxing game or an MMA game.
Sure.
That's I think, one of the things. I think the other thing is we're more of an arcade fighter. We're going more for, again, that fun aspect of it, that you can pick it up, you can play it, you have a good time, rather than having to know everything about a sport or simulating every aspect. So we're getting more, away from that and more towards that, really sort of visceral fighting experience. You and your buddies can have a good time one-on-one, online, wherever you're at.
Right.
And I think the third thing is just, the fighters. We're going to work more with the fighters than organizations. So we recently announced Jen's Pulver.
Yes.
And Jen's, former champion, and he's had high points, he'd had low points, and concentrating on the fighters gives us this sense of, you know, what they go through, and that, you know, you don't meet fighters for the first time when they're, you know, on TV and, you know, under these hot lights in a sports arena. They have this long road to get to this idea of supremacy, to, you know, their main goals. So that's a lot what we concentrate on.
But before we wrap up here, let's talk about the 22nd. Jens Pulver is fighting in a fight that is basically what, sponsored by?
Yeah, sponsored by the game Supremacy MMA, and it's January 22nd. It's in Chicago, and I think we're gonna stream it live right here.
Gamespot will be streaming that fight and many of those fights on that. Do we know who's on the card that night, or just Jen?
Michelle Gutierrez is on the card, female fighting, which is very cool.
Definitely females.
She's a great fighter,
beating the crap out of each other. Super awesome. Michelle Gutierrez.
Yeah, and Jen's, and not sure of everybody that's on there, but it should be a good show.
All right, well, tune in January 22nd. GameSpot will be streaming that, as well as some gameplay from Supremacy MMA.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll be back with a new build.
All right, awesome. Ricky.
Great.
Dude, thanks for joining me.
Thanks a lot.
And again, remind people when the game's coming out, what consoles?
Supremacy MMA, June, Microsoft Xbox 360, Sony PlayStation 3.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
Great.
Look forward to seeing it.
Thanks for having us.
And more from Supremacy MMA on June 22nd. Tune in for GameSpot's live broadcast and the Now Playing that will happen at the same time. So that should be exciting. But that's it. Supremacy MMA. On with the rest of the show.
We do have a second demo coming up later, an Xbox Live arcade title called Swarm. But before that, let's find out what else is coming out this week on Xbox Live.
This week on Xbox Live, in arcade, combine a side-scrolling shoot-'em-up with time travel, and you get Zeit squared. Co-op play with a copy of yourself to pull off amazing moves against 8 massive bosses. Take on 6 unique game modes and 70 challenges. In Games on Demand, race high-end performance cars in Need for Speed Shift. Shift features a realistic first-person cockpit view, an all-new crash mechanic to enhance the exhilaration of racing a car on the edge of control. Then, history and fantasy collide in Operation Darkness. Combat the occult forces of Hitler's regime, including Nazis, vampires, zombies, and more, in this alternate World War II experience. Then get your battle on in Super Street Fighter 4. 10 new fighters, nostalgic bonus stages, new spectator features, and the awesome replay channel will draw you in for one more brutal fight in this classic brawler. In game demos, quit being a namby-pamby and check out the Biggest Loser Ultimate Workout demo. In downloadable content, Castlevania HD brings the extra stage, The One Who Is Many. Bomberman Battlefest adds the Bomb Up Pack 2. The Sims 3 gets the Asian Fusion Pack and Toyota Prius plus Toyota Prius Eco Pack. Rock Band 3 gets the Linkin Park Pack 1 and Free Pack 1. Def Jam Rapstar adds a number of songs, including Busta Rhymes' Pasta Cavassier Part 2, and Guitar Hero Warriors of Rock drops a January Mega Pack. In Video Marketplace, check out the Dead Space 2 multiplayer trailer, the Crysis 2 Be the Weapon trailer, and the New Year, New You Bollywood trailer for Your Shape Fitness Evolved. That's all the time we have, folks. Join us next week for more This Week on Xbox Live.
Hey everyone, and welcome to our daily demo. I have Joel DeYoung here from Hothead Games, here to show us Swarm, which I see you have a bunch of these t-shirts.
Yeah, we brought some t-shirts, and I'm wearing one of the original t-shirts. This is the Swarmite here, and it's a character we created for the game Swarm. The Swarmite is, people really respond to this. I get comments from strangers on the street about this shirt.
Like, who are these little bubbly guys?
Just because, you know, they're the look in their eyes and the dumb look on their face, there's not a lot going on between the ears. They are kind of daft. They're very curious though, and so these little guys will do just about anything you ask them to, and they have no concern with their own safety at all.
Oh, great.
So, and unfortunate for them, in the game we put them in an extremely dangerous, hostile world. So there are many, many ways for these guys to meet their doom. And we'll just go ahead and show
All right,
it
let's
here.
check it
Let's
out.
jump right in.
You're so cute in such a dopey way.
Yeah.
So what was that giant thing there that...
Well, the game starts with a blue blob in space arriving at this mysterious planet, planting itself in the ground, and this tentacle comes out of this blue blob and spits the Swarmites out into the world. And your job is to guide these 50 Swarmites around the world and collect things and get points.
Okay.
Pretty straightforward. We really decided to go old school with the game, and this game is really about scoring. People that played in the arcades, they're gonna find this really familiar. But let's go ahead and talk about first the swarms themselves and how the control works. So I'm actually controlling the entire swarm here at the same time. There's no lead guy, there's no sort of RTS-y aspect here where I control one and then give them commands to go out. And they will sort of just naturally move around the environment in the direction I tell them to go, and if there's things in the way, they'll just sort of naturally flow and flock around it. If one of them gets behind, they'll run a little faster to catch up. And so you just move through the world that way. And so smoking. You can, there's this little gas pits there, and you can see one of the guys got caught in that, and he ended up suffocating. So no big deal. We've got 50 of these guys. Well, now you can see on the screen we've got 44. So this is an action platformer, so it's very fast-paced, and so you can see I can jump the swarm around as well. I can also control the shape of them, and so if I need to get through a tight spot, I can huddle them together so that they're all hugged together and I can get across narrow ledges and whatnot. And if I want to collect a bunch of things at once, I can spread them out and sort of take a wide berth, and that way I can collect a whole lot at once. Now the cool thing is you can actually combine moves in the game. So you've already seen where I huddled them together. Well, if I jump at the same time, they'll continue to try to squish together, and so much so that they're standing on each other's heads. And if you repeatedly jump, then they'll form this tall totem pole. And this is really great because you can use this to reach high spots.
So a little puzzle.
Yeah, and you can even walk while they're totemed like this. But if you walk too fast, they'll collapse. Yeah.
Like their little arms, like trying to get their balance.
Yeah. So you can see a lot of these guys are meeting their doom in these little bear traps here. So I'm down to like 8 guys. But it's no matter because there's every now and again these little health packs, these little glowing pods where swarm aren't so boring, I guess. And if you run across them, then this whole swarm gets replenished and you start anew. So really all that matters is that you just have at least one guy survive and then get to the next health pack. That's right. Now there are bonuses for getting through with more of them. You'll be able to get bigger collectibles and whatnot, but it's really just about one. And none of these guys has sort of individual personalities or special abilities. It's really about the whole swarm as a whole, which is the whole theme of the game.
So no getting attached to just one or anything?
That's right, and no funny hats on individuals. But as you can see, it gets pretty hairy here. And
yeah, so you're collecting those little, are they like DNA bubble modules?
Yeah, little bubbles of DNA, and there's even larger pieces of DNA that you can collect, sort of one-time collectibles through the double helix you can collect as well. Here's an example. I've got 50 guys, and if I keep them huddled really carefully through this narrow ledge, then I can make it to this next plate, which has a 50 on it. Now, this means if I have 50 guys, then I can trigger this plate. It requires 50 of them. If I lost even one, then I wouldn't be able to trigger it, and I get these extra juicy collectibles.
So it's all about points.
That's right.
Multipliers.
That's right. And you can see there's a multiplier on the screen up there, and that is tracking kind of how often you've collected stuff or how long it's been since the swarmite has died. So you can see there's a little cooldown timer on there, and every time I collect something or every time a swarmite dies, that cooldown timer resets. So as long as I can keep collecting or keep killing them, then I'll keep my multiplier going. And as I collect more, the multiplier gets bigger and bigger. And
so how did this, sorry.
Oh yeah, no worries.
So how did this idea come about?
Well, we actually have been working on Swarm for quite a while, as long as 5 years ago, just after we started the company. It's getting close. It's hard to talk and play at the same time, I think. And so the game's actually based on the PhD research of Dr. Mike Hayward, who he is our advanced technology specialist at Hothead. He did his PhD research at University of California, San Diego, and in artificial life and artificial intelligence. Doing this idea where you have a bunch of little intelligent, or maybe in this case not so intelligent creatures that really can't achieve very much on their own, but that can communicate and cooperate with each other to achieve something. And so he proposed this idea for a game, saying, and let's create a cute little character and attach to it and use his AI research to make the game.
Oh, interesting.
So that's how Swarm was born. Now we had some very early prototypes that we did, and we played around with the concept a lot. And as you can imagine, controlling 50 at once and having the swarm be really amorphous like it is has the potential to be kind of frustrating for the player. So we spent a lot of time making it feel intuitive, really creating a sense of flow in the game.
Very cool. So when does the game come out and on what platform?
Well, it's coming out very soon. We don't have an exact release date yet. We're just now finishing the last bugs and getting in the submission process for Xbox Live Arcade and PlayStation Network.
All right, great. Well, thank you so much for coming by and showing us the game.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. If people want to get news on the game, they can look at www.swarmites.com as well.
Sounds good. Thanks for that. All right, and that was our look at Swarm. Now on with the rest of the show. So Kevin, these guys are the Swarmites, which is featured in the game Swarm.
So those are the blue things.
Yes, and we will be giving 6 of these t-shirts away at the trivia portion of our show. But before that, let's check out this exclusive Mortal Kombat trailer featuring Melina.
Let us dance!
Melina was created by Shang Tsung in his foul flesh pits. Twisted and mad, she's equally beauty and beast. Devoid of a conscience, she has the rage of a wild animal. Only the evil Lord Shao Kahn possesses the will to control her. Finish her. Determined to destroy her rival Kitana, Melina entered the Mortal Kombat tournament, ready to butcher anyone and everyone who gets in her way.
Melina wins. Fatality.
So I need lots of new clothes still, Sophia. So I'm wondering if I can just pilfer one of these beautiful.
No, these are for our readers or viewers. Yes.
Is there a medium in there?
They're very soft. No, I'm not sure what sizes they are.
There's got to be a medium in there.
But they're very cute, and we have a trivia question for you guys. So the trivia question is, where did Swarm's creator, Dr. Michael Hayward, get his PhD? Now, if you have the answer, you can email us at onthespot@gamespot.com or submit your answer in the answer trivia module button on the side of the page. So that about wraps up another episode of Today on the Spot. Be sure to tune into our site. We have a lot of updates coming up for THQ games as well as Nintendo 3DS games. And for all of us at the studio, I'm Sophia Tong.
I'm Kevin Van Ord.
And we'll see you guys next time. No,
give me the shirt.
This shirt. Oh, look, Brian Eckberg.
It's not technically picking if it's just like